And back again. Wow. Every week, sometimes every day, multiple times a day, something brand new and in the past catastrophic would have led to world war, a war. And it ain't happened yet. I think I said once on YouTube already that there is no way that they're going to be able to start their war before God has timed it out. And that means that basically if the Christians and all the people of this land want to rise up, throw their fits in the street, yeah, they can do that. In fact, if they did it all over the place, you'd scatter Homeland Security so far and wide that they just would be, they'd find out the hard way. They can't control it. There just aren't enough well, what do you call them? Troublemakers. They can't hire enough troublemakers to cover enough ground because there ain't enough people that want to be troublemakers. Now, what the heck do you call them? Agent provocateurs. You know, guys that run around breaking stuff and throwing bottles and rocks at cops so the cops will respond with force. Well, I noticed up there in Ferguson that they started going out and arresting the agent provocateurs, which I thought was funny. Which is what I said should be done. Just arrest them. The old Paul Begley, though, I'm going to let you listen to him for a second. Wait, I don't think this is the one I wanted to listen to. Hundreds of thousands of fish dead. I mean, there's been all kinds of interesting things going on in the world. I say interesting. I guess it should scare me. It doesn't. It just kind of wakes me up. It's like, wow, all the things prophesied in the Bible are really coming true. Fascinating. I think I'm going to say something about this one. Russia bombs Ukraine vessel on Black Sea. I'm going to say I don't know what news service brought it forward, but recently the government has been putting out so much propaganda, which is to say untruths.
Are you serious? Are you serious, Vladimir Putin? What? Is anybody going to at least call the guy out and say...
See, right there I'm going to stop it because I really don't want to hear what he's got to say next because he's falling for the propaganda. Okay? It's just, there's no way that he bombed. I'm going to say this, logically speaking, there's no way that he bombed the Ukrainian vessel. There is no way that he bombed a Ukrainian vessel. Period. End of statement. Or let's just say, I'm going to hold the government's feet to the fire and I'm going to say, prove it. You know, they've been saying that Russia invaded and tanks and artillery and anti-aircraft. Where? I don't see nothing that proves it. You know, they show some satellite pictures of, and they show this little bitty rinky-dink area, and there are no markers for you to gauge where it's at. Or, they're CGI-ing it. They're photoshopping it. And it's poor quality photoshopping. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. They're running around playing these propaganda games, and we put up with, and especially Cold War warriors like me, put up with propaganda from the Soviet Union or from the communist bloc for all my life. All my life. In all their propaganda, in all their lies, and all their agent provocateuring came to nothing. Their economies crashed. Their economies failed. They weren't keeping up. They lost ground. They just couldn't anymore. The people wouldn't work. especially in the Soviet Union, the old Soviet Union, they wouldn't work. They wouldn't work because they couldn't work. Because it didn't matter if they worked or not, they were still going to get a paycheck. In fact, if they worked, they got weenied on and they lost their job. Which was a big risk for them back then, because you lost your job and you couldn't find another one, they'd throw you in a nut bin. And back then the old Soviet nut bins were kind of cruel places. Kind of totally cruel. You're lucky to come out of them alive. So anyway, it's just propaganda. I mean, they just said something on Alex Jones' channel, and I looked at it and I said, who said that? NBC? Oh, I doubt that happened. You know? Of course, then you got these other people saying, yeah, and I'm like, wow, like your slavery much? Of course they like their slavery. You know, they're getting paid to sit on their butt typing crap at people on the internet. I had some guy throwing that crap at me the other day, and I said, I called him a liar, and then I said, you're just paid troll. He says, ha 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 ha. He says, LOL. I was just kidding, and then he started in on me again, and I was like, and then he said something about, you're a paid troll. I said, I wish. I'll take that check. But I'm not. That's, well, this is funny. Anyway, the main reason I'm on here today is real simple. Today is September 2014. And I'm saying that in 377 days, or 1 year and 13 days, the economy of the United States will be, for all intents and purposes, kaput, gone, toast. Funny thing about it is the government's going to announce it, probably going to announce that they're bankrupt, or they're going to announce that the Fed is bankrupt. You know, it's funny that the federal government and the Federal Reserve just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. They know they've lost the narrative. They know that people don't believe them anymore. They know that people do not trust them. They know that people do not like them. They know that the president's, and by the way, here's something else I don't believe. I don't believe what the polls are saying about the president's popularity numbers are right now. I think they're at least 5 points lower. And the reason I say that is because it has been over the last 20, 30 years that I'm going to call them state-run media today. The state-run media, which used to be the mainstream media, but they're lucky if they get 1 million viewers all combined in a night. Maybe they get 1.5 million. On a day-to-day basis, alternative media gets about 20, 30 million, 40 million. I mean, they just lost the narrative. They ain't nobody trust them. Ain't nobody believe them. They don't tell anybody anything that's real anymore. They're running around with little powder puffs full of white powder puffing on all the Democrats' face, and it's totally undefendable anymore. You know, committing crime, and the news media is like, you know, some of these old news media personalities, remember I used that term before, personalities, you know, some of them old news media personalities, hey, come out finally here about a month or two ago and say, I'm tired of defending this idiot. They're indefendable. They're breaking the law. And they're leaving. And then they're telling stories like, you know, we brought 6 expose stories up, and the producers just nixed them. The editors just nixed them. No, we can't tell that. Too incendiary. For who? Anyway, we got our open borders going on, and I'm going to get back to this 377-day deal here. We got our southern border is wide open because the government is ordering Border Patrol back. What for? What is at the border that's so scary? I'll tell you what's at the border. They're just leaving the range wide open for people to cross. Well, you got IS, the Islamic State, is reported to have fighters in Juarez, Mexico, which is, by the way, a border city, bordering right across from, is that Brownsville they're bordering? Well, ha ha ha, and what do you know? 377 days to go. The economy will be tanked there, and then things like food stamps will be cut off. I don't know what else will be cut off. The government's going to be pulled back to 85%, which is its income tax rate, or whatever. 77%, because I'd be willing to bet that the World Bank will say, we are no longer going to fund the dollar. We are no longer going to allow you to print any more money. Because you see, our Federal Reserve is beholden to somebody else. Of course, everybody wins. You know, there's so many people that don't know that. Well, that's okay. You know, frankly, I don't blame them for not knowing. What I do blame them for is not looking it up themselves. You know, that's one of the big problems. You got so many people sitting around on their butt, not looking it up themselves, going on about life. You should be happy. You should be happy. You should go through life. Tra-la-la-la-lee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Yeah, I'd love to go through life like that. I sure enough would. Hard to do when you feel like the government's out to destroy the country you live in. Hard to believe that when you got a dozen politicians, that the ones that are speaking out against all the corruption have bought into it too. They're not fighting this stuff so that they can return the country back to its constitutional roots. They're arguing and fighting it so they can return it back to what it was before. I got news for you. That's not going to happen anymore. And it ain't something that I wouldn't choose. I wouldn't care. There ain't no skin off my nose. I don't care. As long as I get food in my belly and I get to watch my TV and stuff, yeah, I'd be happy with it if that was all I had to worry about. What's on tonight? I'd love that. God dang it, they ain't got nothing on TV anymore. I used to hear my grandpa and my relatives always saying, there ain't nothing good on TV anymore. It's just junk. I'll be sitting there eating it up as a kid. My grandpa was saying, oh, that's just junk. I'm starting to see a little bit more, little tweaking here and there. More and more. The rage is on the rise. Well, the federal government wants that. They just want it to happen now. Because, oh, we can't have guys like Ron being correct. That would make him a real prophet. Well, geez, I guess I could say that if you aren't doing it out in the open. I don't even care. The people aren't paying attention. Now you got the sister up north not paying attention. She does not want to believe this. This isn't the way it's supposed to happen. You mean that isn't the way you imagined it? I got news for you. It ain't about what you think is going to happen. It's about what does happen. God is working this out, and I'm watching this, and I'm going, wow, it's got to be God, because that's beyond brilliant. See, here we got Romney. He's doing the political thing. He's blaming Obama for ISIS. But if I read the article of what Romney said, you know what he's going to say? He was negligent. He left Iraq when he shouldn't have. He should have stayed in there. Now we have ISIS, and they cut the head off of which half the people are saying, that's fake. The only oh my God going on directed at the American people are, oh my God, are you people really that stupid? No, they're not stupid. Just not paying attention. Whatever. You know, you people sowed ignorance, and ignorance in its technical terminology means act of ignoring. You ignore the political situation and circumstance, and if it bites you in the butt, don't be screaming, why aren't you doing anything about this? Because that's what you wanted. Because you were looking out of the way. I don't want to see no evil. I don't want to hear no evil. I don't want to say no evil. Be happy. Tra-la-la-la-la-la-la. Let's go shopping. Let's go out to eat. Oh, look, that restaurant closed. I wonder why it closed. I don't understand. Somebody should do something about that. What are you talking about? Sears is on the verge of bankruptcy. I mean, they're already talking about it. If Sears dies, Kmart dies. Enjoy. But I like Sears stuff. You can like them while they're in bankruptcy. Well, maybe they'll file a Chapter 13 or something instead of Chapter 7. I don't know what the difference. I think Chapter 7 is shutting the doors, bankruptcy, liquidation, and Chapter 11 is restructuring. Long since forgot. Don't care. See, now watch. See, I'm going to scroll down and let's see what old Romney says here. See, I'm just guessing. I haven't read this. I don't even know. Oh, wait. I'm going to have to go to. Let's see. So that's a brand new article. I ain't. Watch. He's going to blame Ron. Watch. Watch him. Former Republican presidential candidate blamed Obama directly for the rise of the terror group. Now, the reason that Obama is directly responsible is because he sent American advisors over there to train them in Jordan. Look it up. This would be like saying a circus barker is responsible for working acts inside a sideshow tent. Mistakes were made and now we have ISIS, Romney claimed. See, here we go. If you go back a few years when Syria fell into revolution and tumult, when rebels were pushing against Assad, I laid out what I thought was a prudent course for us to see stability in Syria. He explained, had we have followed that course, oh wait, here's a mistake. He's going to say we should have helped Assad. See, I don't even listen to Romney anymore because of Romney care. ISIS, now the Islamic State, formerly an Al-Qaeda offshoot, in Iraq, fighting against U.S. occupation there, came to power as a result of collaboration between Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Turkey, and a combined intelligence effort of the CIA and British and Israeli intelligence. Oh my God, I told you I didn't read this. ISIS was trained by the U.S. military in Jordan. They actually told the truth. Oh my God. Former Al-Qaeda commander ISIS works for the CIA? Woo! NSA doc reveals ISIS leader al-Baghdadi